Good morning, folks, and welcome to Power to Negotiate. Today's session is going to be about something exciting. It's called the interview. And you're going to say, Reed, what exactly are you talking about? What is the interview? You've already set the appointment. You go out to meet the people, and they're trying to sell their house. And let's say you want to do this in a lease option. One of the things that I want to do is I want to find out what their needs are. And I don't have a solution right out, ready-made, and this is my solution to your problem until I go out and meet with them, because every person's situation is different. And if you only have one solution, pretty much you're going to try to fit them into your box. There's an old saying that if the only tool you have is a hammer, everything starts to look like a nail. And what I want you to do is I want you to find out what their motivation is. What are the three things in motivation? Number one, what is their dreadful alternative? If you don't buy it from them, what's going to happen to them? Number two, what's their time crunch? And number three, what's their pain? And then find out their situation. And sometimes their pride is going to get in the way, and they're going to say, I need to sell this property for this much. Okay, why do you need to sell it for that much? Oh, well, because that's what the market is. Okay, you've tried to sell it for that much, and the market has not responded. What are your other options? I don't tell people anything. I ask them a lot of questions. And they might sit and they might stop and they might say, well, I'm going to sell it to you. Okay, if you don't sell it to me, what is your dreadful alternative? And then they might stop and they might think, well, I'm facing foreclosure in 2 months, but I think I'll list it with a realtor. Okay, great. So you find a realtor. You find a good one. Maybe that takes you 2 or 3 weeks to go ahead and find. And they list the property right up front. And then they place an ad in the paper. How many properties are for sale right now? And if you're trying to get full price, how quickly will your property sell? Could it be a month, 2 months, 3 months? Once you get a contract on it, how quickly will it close? Remember how long it took you to close on this house? Maybe 30, 45 days? Could it be about the same for a house you're trying to sell? So if that solution isn't viable, what are your other alternatives? When you start asking them questions and they start responding, what's going to happen is they might just say, uh-oh. And that's when you start to ask them specifically, okay, I know what you want, I want here. Not going to get it. So what are our alternatives? And what is it that you want to accomplish? If you want to have the mortgage payments being made so that you're not behind, if you want to have the taxes and insurance being paid, if you want to make sure the house is being maintained, here's the solution. If they say, I need to move 50,000 miles away and I need $20,000 cash in order to get there, okay, if you don't sell, what's going to happen? Because a lot of times people say, this is what I need. Well, that's what they'd like. And if the dreadful alternative is your biggest help when you're negotiating, because you can ask them, okay, in this market, how long have you been trying to sell it? Any success? What if people told you as the main reason that they aren't buying it? Is it the price? Is it the location? Is it the condition of the house? Is it the wrong color? What is it? Is there any way you can fix it? Now, before I go out to meet with anybody, I don't know what the solution is. And here's a line I want you to use. I don't know if I can help you, but I know how to find out. Would you mind if I asked you a few questions? Write it down. Great line. Because you don't know how you're going to help them until you find out what they need. Let me ask you a question. If you went in to see a doctor and you said, Doctor, I'm sick, and he said, here, take these pills, and he hadn't even examined you, he hadn't taken your pulse, he hadn't looked in your eyes, he hadn't done anything, he just handed you a pill, what would you do? You'd probably run out screaming. But if the doctor came in and he took a full workup, he took your blood pressure, examined your eyes, looked in your ears, never knew what that was for. Went ahead and tapped on your knee, don't know what that's for. and took your blood pressure and did everything and found out what your symptoms were and asked about any problems and aches and pains you've been having, ran some blood tests, and then he said, you know, it appears as if you have this situation. May I suggest a course of treatment? What are you going to say? Great. Why? Because he qualified you, he did a needs analysis, he matched up your needs with his benefits, and then he made his presentation. You want to do the same thing. You want to find out what their needs are. Find out what they really, really need to have happen. And if that doesn't work, what is the dreadful alternative that they're going to be forced to do? And come up with a solution that's better than the dreadful alternative. Remember, we're not trying to come up with a solution that's better than sliced bread. We're trying to come up with a solution that's better than the dreadful alternative. And here's a question. Would that be better? Or would that help? And if they say, nope, it won't help, get up, shake their hand and say, I wish you well. If there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. Apparently, this solution won't work for you, and leave. They might want you to buy the property for full price cash. You can't do that. But here's what I can do. I can take over the property. I can have someone else make the mortgage payments on a lease option, not a renter. They would be taking care of the taxes and insurance. They'd be taking care of the maintenance. And every month we'll make you'll get a little statement from an escrow account saying that the payments have been made. So you'll always know that the payments have been made in a timely manner. Would that work for you? If they say yes, great. You move forward. But everything we do is trying to find a solution to their problem, not trying to sell them a problem, a solution to a problem that they don't have. Because they might need to sell the property for cash right now, and you might not be able to help them. If you can't help them, and you've done your entire due diligence and you found out exactly what the property can do and can't do, and there's no way you can help them, can you find somebody that can? If you can, great. Do a warm handoff where you call up the other person and say, hey John, I've got Sam and Susie here and they're trying to sell their house. It's a great deal. I can't do it right now, but this is the type of house you're always looking for. Would you mind talking to them? And hand it off to John. If it's a good deal, John will thank you forever. If it's a bad deal, he'll say, I can't help you, and they won't be in any worse shape than they were. Always leave your client in better condition than when you found them.